Okay. Good evening to one and all. Welcome you all to the Daily Indian Express newspaper analysis for the date 8th November 2023, brought to you by Ganesh IAS Academy. Okay, let's get into the analysis of today's newspaper. So mentioned in the slide are the list of articles which we are going to have the analysis in the upcoming slides. So have a look at it. Okay, let's get into the analysis of each and every articles one by one. Deepfake challenge. So the news is related with technology. So if the news is related to civil service examination and in prelim stage through a topic called current events of national and international importance, similarly under mains GS paper 3 science and technology under a subtopic called awareness in the field of IT, space, computer, robotics, nanotechnology, biotechnology and issues relating to IPR. Okay, the deepfake. What does this deepfake is about? Because we all know a particular actress face has been deepfaked and it is been circulated in social media. So it has created a panic across the society that certain negative things, certain false information could be made in a way that it could be made in a way that it will be like a truth, so that we could not able to differentiate between which is true and false because of this deepfake technology. It employs artificial intelligence to create fake videos, fake audios as well as images. And recently the recent Bletchley Park declaration which was happened in United Kingdom, where 28 countries have signed this declaration including India. What they have said is that they all have agreed to form a global regulations to contain the potential misuse of this artificial intelligence, that is the deepfake. And right now different standards have been employed across the country to regulate the artificial intelligence in their own country. For example, the recently passed US executive orders, what it is saying is that the private organization which is creating the artificial intelligence product need to submit their verification standards before it is being released to the consumers or the customers to the federal government. Once the federal government has given a green signal only, they could able to sell those product to the consumers, so that the consumers interest will be safeguarded and then the technology will not be misused. This is what the objective of the recent US executive order is about. What UK is following is that is UK style of regulating the artificial intelligence is that they are using a soft approach, that is they don't want to meddle with the innovation in artificial intelligence, so that their regulation policies are not more prone towards more prone towards the interference of executive agencies, so that they are giving free hand to the artificial intelligence organizations to enhance the innovation in their countries. But in the case of European Union, they are following a middle path, that is on the one hand they wanted to regulate the potential artificial intelligence according to the case by case basis. How will they will be regulating the artificial intelligence on the case by case basis is that firstly they will categorize the artificial intelligence according to the risk based. So the artificial intelligence technologies which has the potential to harm the people will be tightly regulated by the government. But on the other hand, the artificial intelligence technology which does not or have less impact or less risk to the consumers or the citizens, they will be liberalized. The regulations for those technology will be liberalized. Such kind of middle path has been followed by the European Union. So this kind of different standards right now been followed by different countries, but this Bletchley Park Bletchley Park Declaration have agreed to form the common global regulation for the artificial intelligence. And recently the TROI, the regulatory authority of India for the telecommunication, what it has outlined the broad regulatory framework is, they are also recommending the government to form a risk-based approach in terms of regulating the artificial intelligence, like in the case of European Union. So what the tech companies need to do is that, so this is from government side, these are all the things which the different types of governments are right now doing in order to regulate the artificial intelligence. So what the tech companies needed to do is that they need to watermark the AI generated content, so that people could able to identify which content is AI generated and which content is not AI generated, so that they could able to identify the difference between the ordinary content as well as the AI generated content. And countries need at the same time, so even though different countries are following different standards, these standards should not meddle or should not degrade or denigrate the country's innovative process. So this is what the suggestion being given under this article. So this is what the analysis of the news. Okay, this deepfake technology uses the generative adversarial network model. So this model, in short form, it is called as GAN model, GAN model, where it is used to analyze, synthesize the realistic human voices, faces as well as gestures to create a look-alike voices, faces or gesture through the usage with the help of the generative adversarial network model, that is the GAN model. And because of the availability of huge number of data, these models could able to analyze as well as mimic the facial expression, speech pattern accurately, because of the entire large number of data set that is present beneath the model. So this is what the most prominent model that is being used by the deepfake technology uses. And what is the implication this deepfake technology is having in the society is that it is degrading the entertainment industries. Like in the entertainment industries are one of the major revenue generating industries across India, but because of the false propaganda that has been passed because of this kind of deepfake technology, it is denigrating or degrading these industry. Secondly, the misinformation has been circulated easily through the social media with the help of this deepfake technology. And then the cyber threat is already the cyber places is potentially harming the people, most importantly women's, but this deepfake technology is enhancing the already present threat in the cyber world. And then political manipulation, that is, it is acting or meddling the political democratic integrity during the election time, like in the case of deepfaking the prominent politicians' voices, speeches, actions, so that it is used to tarnish their images, which in turn will be having a huge impact on the election results. So it is acting, more or less, it is acting against the democratic process. So what are all the existing laws that is available in India to regulate the deepfake technology is, first and foremost is IT Act 2000, and then the section 500 of Indian Penal Code punishes the person who are defaming the others. So this defamation does include deepfake technologies also. And then the recently passed Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023. So these are all the existing laws in India to regulate the deepfake technologies. So what we need to study further is, we should know about what is artificial intelligence, what is machine learning, what is Internet of Things, and the difference between all of them. And then augmented reality, virtual reality, and then the mixed reality, and difference between all three. And then the national cyber policy that has been followed in India. So this is what the analysis of the deepfake technology related news, and with this we have reached the end of this topic. India has highest number of TB cases globally in 2022 according to WHO report. See, it is related to tuberculosis, that is a thing related to disease. So for UPSC exam, it is related to the prelims under general science topic. Similarly, under mains GS paper 3 science and technology, it is related to a subtopic called awareness in the field of IT, space, computers, robotics, nanotechnology as well as biotechnology. Okay, let's have a look into the details of the news as well as the analysis in the upcoming slides. The World Health Organization has recently released Global Health TB Report 2023. What it has said is that India accounted for the highest number of TB cases in 2022 globally, and in terms of percentage, India is having nearly 27% of global burden of TB cases in India, and nearly 30 high burden TB countries accounted for nearly 87% of cases. And in 2022 itself, India recorded 2.8 million TB cases, and in that nearly 12% have the fatality, they have been died. And then the multi-drug resistant, which is the public health crisis, has reached nearly 1.1 lakh cases during 2022 in India. And what is the silver lining in this report is that the recovery in terms of the number of persons being affected by TB has increased in 2022 because of their access to the diagnosis in the healthcare system. And the India, Indonesia and Philippines, these three countries accounted for nearly 60% of the overall TB cases across the globe in 2022. So these are all the factual thing that has been brought out by World Health Organization. What it is bringing out is that India is the only country that is having more number of TB when compared to other country. So this is what the details of the news is. Okay, let's have a look into final part of the news, that is, so what it has said is that, see, as I said, even though the magnitude of the people, those who have been affected by the TB has got increased in 2022, at the same time the diagnosis of the people is also got increased during the 2022, and this World Health Organization's global TB monitoring began in 1995, and this year not only this 2 years, that is from 2022, that is the TB incident rate, that is new case recorded per 1 lakh population, in that it has reached 3.9% in the 2020 and 2022 period, which is higher than the 2% of TB incident rate that was prevailing in the previous 2 decades. So this is what the details of the news is about. Okay, let's look into the analysis of the news. First, we will look into what does this TB is about. TB is the bacterial infection, and it spreads through inhaling of tiny droplets from the cough or the sneeze of the infected person, and it mainly affects the lungs and also the other part of the body at later stage of the disease. So there are different types of TBs. First is the pulmonary TB, the TB that affects the lungs, and it only spreads after prolonged exposure to the to other person who is having illness, and it will not show any kind of symptoms. The latent TB is, but this TB will be this TB will be prevented by ourselves only because of the immunity that is already present inside the human body. The latent TB is sometimes the immune system cannot able to kill the TB bacteria, so that this bacteria could able to manage itself to live inside the human body for longer period of time. So such kind of condition is called as latent TB, and it is not infectious to others, and it will not show any kind of symptoms on the person on whose this kind of TB is present. And the active TB is, you see, if after the immune system could not able to kill or reduce the infection of this TB bacteria, it will spread to the all part of the body and it will be having symptoms. Such kind of TB is called as active TB. This latent TB, that is the TB that is present inside the body subtly without any kind of symptoms. After sometimes, after sometimes when our body get old and our immunity is getting reduced, during that time this latent TB could itself convert into the active TB. So these are all the different types of TB, and the programs that has been implemented in India to contain the TB is, first and foremost program is National TB Elimination Program, that is to end the TB by 2025, and it is being implemented through a National Strategic Plan for TB Elimination, that is from 2020 to 2025. Previously a strategy plan has been introduced during 2017, but because of some administrative reasons it has been cancelled and revamped, and the new strategic plan was formed and it is being implemented to achieve the goal which was set by the National TB Elimination Program. So what is the challenges that is associated with the eradication of TB in India is, first and foremost, lack of proper built primary healthcare sectors across India is acting as one of the hindrance for the eradication of TB in India. Secondly, lack of regulations or what to say, silos in regulations across the state for private healthcare is also acting as one of the hindrance for the eradication of TB in India. Thirdly, HIV induced TB cases is also getting increased in India. And finally, the malnourishment and poverty that is prevailing across the country is also acting as one of the challenges for eradication of TB in India. So what need to be studied further is, we should know about World Health Organization and its structure, functions, etc., and its objective, and also we should be aware of what are all the bacterial, viral as well as protozoan diseases being caused by the respective microbes, and what is the difference between all the three diseases. Thirdly, you should also be aware of the non-communicable diseases, what are the different types of non-communicable diseases, and what are the programs being implemented in India to prevent this non-communicable diseases. So these are all the other areas which we need to be aware of, and with this we have reached the end of this topic. How ignored landslide alert led to Subansiri running dry. So the news is related to UPSC exam under a topic called economic as well as social development. Similarly, under mains GS paper 3 economic development, under a subtopic called infrastructure, that is energy, ports, roads, airways, railways, etc. So the landslide has happened in the Subansiri dam recently, as a result of which it has blocked the diversion tunnel. The only diversion tunnel that is prevailing in the, that is built or prevailed in the reservoirs, so that it has reduced the fastening of the construction of the Subansiri dam, which was initially begun in 2005, but it suffered a long stoppage because of the opposition by the people during the period of 2011 and during the period between 2011 and 19, and after 2019 it began its operation, and it has set a deadline to get finished by 2024 March. But because of such disaster that was happened recently, the date which they have set to finish the dam might get expanded. So this is what the news is. So this is what the dam is about. So this is what the Subansiri river flow, and this is what the spillways. Spillways are the areas which regulate the flowing of water or the river water from the upper stream to the downstream in the dam, and this is what the diversion tunnel, and this diversion tunnel is responsible to divert the waters to downstream, so that the running of water in this area will get slowed down, as a result of which the construction activities in the dam will get, the speed of the construction activity in the dam will get enhanced. Right now, out of 6 spillways, only 3 are operational, and 3 is right now under construction. So if these 3 spillways need to be constructed successfully, means the water need to get diversed, but the only diversion tunnel that is present in the dam got blocked because of the recent landslide that happened in the near hills of the Subansiri dam. And this is what the powerhouse. So the water that is coming out of the spillways, that is the regulator of the dam, will get passed through this tunnels where the turbines will be present. This fast flowing of rivers through this turbine will rotate the turbine, which in turn will produce the electricity, and this water after getting passed through this powerhouse, that is the house where the turbines will be present, the circulation of the turbine with the help of the water will be able to produce the electricity. This water, after doing its job, will go and join the river as it was, and then again it will be flowing to spillways, and it will be regulated according to the regulators that is present in the gateways, their respective gateways. So this is what the problem is. Only one diversion tunnel has been present, and some other tunnel construction is being at the project making stage only. It is not been materialized and got implemented. So it is at the idea stage only. Right now only one diversion tunnel is being operational and it is being blocked. So this is what the news is about. The Central Electricity Authority, which is responsible for regulating the statutory body which is responsible for regulating the electricity production across India, has advised the NHPC, a public sector hydropower construction company which is constructing the reservoirs in the Subansiri river. They have advised the NHPC about the potential landslide that might happen in the diversion tunnel because of the demographic as well as geology that is present across the area. But NHPC, that is the public sector organization, has ignored their advisory. They continued their construction. And previously during 2022 and this year's September 2023, such kind of landslide has happened. But despite this landslide, they continued with their work. And what is the potential impact that might happen because of the landslide that blocked with the diversion tunnel is, first and foremost, it will increase the water flow across the reservoirs, which in turn will be harmful for the aquatic ecosystem that is present in the downstream and also the surrounding areas or the people that who are living at the downstream. Secondly, since it is going to it might delay the project, it will be leading to cost overruns, which in turn will leading to the fiscal burden to the government. So this is what the thing is, and what they have said is that whenever that is the diversion tunnel is closed, the water level goes down during the closing down of diversion tunnels. But along with it, what is the silver line that this season is going to have is that since it is the winter season, the river that is flowing across the Subansiri river will be very low because of the winter season. And then what the data they are saying is that the Subansiri is the lowest ever winter discharge river according to the NHPC's record. So this is what what they are saying is that they will be finishing the project according to the deadline, and this damage will not cause any further delay in the project because of the lesser amount of water discharge by Subansiri during the winter season. So this is what the analysis of the news is about. So what need to be studied further is we should know about what is Subansiri river and what are all the tributaries, and Subansiri river itself a tributary of which river, we should be aware of it. So secondly, we should know what is the hydropower project, what are the types of hydropower project, and what is the hydropower project electricity is percentage in the overall energy mix of India. Thirdly, we should be aware of the Brahmaputra rivers and its tributaries. So with this, we have reached the end of this topic. National Food Security Act and Pradhan Mantri's free grain program promise for 5 years. What it means and what are all the costs. So since it is related to food subsidy and then food security, so under prelims it is related to economic and social development. Similarly under mains, GS paper 3 economic and development, subtopic called issues relating to direct and indirect farm subsidies, MSPs, PDS, as well as its objective, functioning and limitations, etc. So let's have a look into the news. So recently Prime Minister has extended the free food grain scheme for 3 years till 2028. The Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Ann Yojana, which was launched in 2020, has been the deadline was initially been given for the period of the COVID. So because of the increased number of waves of the COVID, the correspondingly this scheme deadline got extended, and it was extended till December 2022. So during this December, government what they have said is that they merged the National Food Security Act with the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Ann Yojana, as a result of which the people will be getting the free food grain for the period of 1 year till the December 2023. But right now, because of this announcement, the free food grain is going to be dispersed till 2028. So this Food Security Act, which was enacted in 2023, has guaranteed the access to adequate quantity of food to the citizens of India at affordable price, and the percentage of people who are covered under the scheme, covered under the Food Security Act is 50% in urban as well as 75% in the rural areas. So on an average, 67% of the population is being covered under National Food Security Act. And then how the people will be selected? Who are all the people going to benefit under the National Food Security Act? They will be selected on the basis of the latest available census, that is the 2011 census. And these subsidized prices are specified in the Schedule 1 of the National Food Security Act, and they are prone to be changed according to the requirement of the government by the executive orders. But until now, that is till 2023, till the integration of the Garib Kalyan Yojana with National Food Security Act, the prices which is present in the Schedule 1 has not been revised. That is the price of rupees 3, 2 as well as rupee 1 respectively for rice per kg, wheat as well as cereals per kg. And there are two kinds of beneficiaries are present in National Food Security Act. One is Antodaya Anna Yojana, another is Priority Household Cards. In that Antodaya Anna Yojana, the people will get entitled to 35 kg of food grains every month irrespective of their family size. In the priority household cards, the people will be getting 5 kg per person in an household. So before integration of this scheme with National Food Security Act, along with this subsidized food, they will be getting, the people will be getting 5 kg per person at free of cost. But after the integration, they will be getting the already what they have got on the priority health, already what they have got in the under the National Food Security Act at the subsidized price for the free of cost. So what the cost of the program is? See, the economic cost of the program does include pooled cost of grain, procurement incidentals, acquisition cost, as well as distribution costs. So these are all the costs being involved in the food subsidy, and it is very important from the perspective of prelims. And during 2020, when the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Ann Yojana was implemented, the food subsidy bill of the government of India is nearly 5.4 lakh crores. But after the subsequent years, it got reduced to 2.8 lakh crores in the 2021 and 22 period. And then in 2022-23 period, it got further reduced to 2.6 lakh crore. And because of this integration of National Food Security Act with the subsidized or the free food grain scheme, the monthly additional expenditure of nearly 15,000 crore will be made under the scheme, and this is what the cost of the program is about. So what the beneficiaries will be saving under the scheme is, so for the Antodaya and Anna Yojanas families, they will be saving a total of 2,705 crores, and then for the priority household card holders, they will be saving nearly 423.86 lakh ton of grains. So they could be saving nearly 11,142 crores. So this is what the economic cost from the government side and the savings of the beneficiaries under the respective coverage in which they are present. So this is what the analysis of the recently announced scheme is about. The recently announced extension of the program is about. How the news, what are all the other things which we need to be aware of is, we should know about what is MSP, what are all the crops covered under it, and which agency is responsible for declaring the MSP. Secondly, you should be aware of PDS system in India, and thirdly, food grains, food subsidy that is given in India. What are all the different types of food subsidy that is being given? So these are all the things which we need to be further aware of, and with this we have reached the end of this topic. So let's have a look into today's practice prelims question. So mentioned here is the practice prelims question. I want those students, those who are watching this session online, please do comment the option point for the question which you are seeing right now on the board. So with this, we have reached the end of today's session. So thank you.